Welcome everybody, my name's Julie Morrison. We run a charity called Baby Loss Retreat. Baby Loss Retreat started in February 2018. The purpose of this charity is we aim to relieve the emotional and physiological suffering to parents who have suffered a bereavement following a stillborn or natal death by offering them a treat to help with their grieving process. Why we do this is, I'll tell you a bit about my story. In 2003, I had lost my little girl called Erin. Basically, I was getting weekly scans because Erin wasn't growing properly. And then at 36 weeks, they noticed that she still wasn't growing and that I was to go for a scan. So I went for a scan, and obviously while they were doing the scan, they found out that Erin's heartbeat had stopped. And then obviously they brought a doctor in, and the doctor looked at the scan and they said, yeah, the heartbeat has stopped. And then they took us into a side room. We had to stay there until they were going to tell us what we were going to do next. So basically the midwife came in, said that I would need to take a tablet and come back in 3 days' time. So basically that's what I done. I was distraught. I didn't know what was going on, or I was just in shock. So I left the hospital, basically went home. I can't even remember when I was in the house what we'd done and things like that. So 3 days later we went back into the hospital, and I was induced to give birth to Erin. Erin was born on the 9th of July 2003 and weighed 3 pounds. So she was really small for being at 37 weeks. So basically from there, the next day we got to hold Erin, and obviously she was beautiful, and just her skin was beautiful. There was nothing wrong with her, basically. And then the next day the midwife came in and asked us what we'd do for the funeral, and obviously they explained that you could have your own funeral, or the hospital could arrange the funeral, or a cremation. So at the time I was only 23, so me and my husband spoke and we thought, right, we'll let the hospital do it for us. So the hospital arranged, we went home, and then the hospital said they would contact us and give us details what we needed to do when Erin's funeral would be. So about 2 weeks to a week later, the hospital had phoned us to say, this is the date, this is where the cremation will take place, and that we had to take music down to be played, or if we wanted poems or anything like that. So we went down to the Dewi cremation, and we spoke to a lady at the reception, and we asked her, gave her the music, and just said that obviously would there be any ashes, would we be able to receive them. But she said that there wouldn't be any ashes because the baby was too small, which we just took that as that's fine, because she was doing her job, she knew what she was talking about. So we just left it at that. And then a couple of years later we seen on the news about Morton Hall, about the ashes getting scattered, and that obviously babies were getting cremated with adults. And I just looked at my husband and I thought, surely this wouldn't be happening to us. So what I done was we went to the lawyers, spoke to a lawyer and told her obviously our situation, and that's when she said, yeah, we'll investigate it. So they brung a big lawyer from Edinburgh called Dame Lynch. I'm sure that's what it's called, sorry. It's quite a long big name that she's got. So she started investigating all the crematoriums and different things, and through her investigation she found out that Erin's ashes were sitting in the funeral directors 13 years later. When she phoned me, I thought it was somebody playing a joke. I just couldn't believe that my wee girl's ashes were sitting in the funeral directors for 13 years and not anybody had the dignity to turn around and tell us. But why they found our baby's ashes, Erin's, they actually found another 6, which we don't know nothing about now. We don't know if they've been able to contact the family or told us anything about it. So obviously we weren't happy the situation what's happened, so we wanted to take it further. We wanted to get it investigated. So basically we were interviewed with CID for 4 hours, me, my husband, my mum and dad, which I thought was absolutely disgusted after everything that we had went through, and we had to go through this. And then it was Glasgow City Council which wanted me and my husband to get a report done on us, a psychologist report, to see if this had affected us in any way by finding these ashes. And to think that they needed to do that, to think if that was physically and mentally doing stuff to us, is an absolute joke. Who would go over that? Nobody. I'm totally angry with them, but the way I see it now is we had the investigation and they told us that because there wasn't any paper trail all throughout Erin's cremation and things like that, then there was nothing to prove. Basically, they couldn't tell us it was a criminal offence. So, coming away from that, I was angry, I was distraught, I didn't know what else to do. And I thought, do you know what? I said to my husband one time, I can't go back down the road that I was when I lost Erin. So I think it's now that we concentrate and do something to help others. And that's why I decided to do a charity called Baby Loss Retreat. Because when I lost Erin, me and my husband were able to go away and we had money to book a holiday. And I found that helped us because there was like away from family. I know sometimes it's good to be around family, but sometimes it's not as well, because they try and say they don't know what to say, or they say the wrong thing and you take it to heart and things like that. Whereas I think if you get away, have a wee break and recharge your batteries and know what you've done, what's happened. So that's what we done. So that's how we decided to start this retreat, was just to give the parents 2 days away to actually be able to grieve in peace, or basically to think of what's happened. Because I think if I had more time to think, I'd be able to arrange it for no better, and I would have asked more questions rather than just going, yeah, go ahead, whatever, and didn't know anything because I was young as well. So that's my story, and that's why I've got to Baby Loss Retreat. Obviously the short term now is we're actually taking on different locations. So when a parent phones us to say that they've had a stillborn or natal death or a miscarriage, it will be going through Wishaw Hospital. So there'll be a form that people fill in and they just tell us, like, obviously the date and what days they're wanting, and then obviously if we can do that, then we'll manage to get them somewhere. We've actually using short term just now because it's easier for us. So we could have families who have got children that you don't want to put them in to somewhere that's too quiet, and then you don't want to put parents that have got no children in somewhere that's loud, and so you've got these two different accommodations that you have to find. So that's why we're doing short term. But our long term goal is in 5 years' time that we'll have our own place, like a cottage or something built for us that we're able to use throughout the year. That's our goal in 5 years' time, to build a retreat. You can also find our charity on Facebook called Baby Loss Retreat. So if you just put that in the link, Baby Loss Retreat, it should come up. Obviously, you can find us on Twitter as well at BabyLoss1980. We keep up to date on that and our Facebook pages, any events that's going on. We also have a website that you can go on in, that's www.babylossretreat.org.com. And we keep up to date with that as well, and that's got all about all the events that we've got. We've actually done a car wash, we've done, what else did we do? We're doing an afternoon tea, we're having a ladies' night, we've done a car boot sale, and it was really bad rain. We managed to raise £145, which is good for being it raining. So if there's anything else that anybody wants to talk about, you can email us through any of them at all. And I hope that people share this video. We've also got a group going, a bereavement group, and that's actually online as well. So you can bereavement group Baby Loss Retreat, and you can go in there, and it's a closed group for parents that have had a stillborn or natal death or miscarriage, and just basically it's to talk to each other, because you would be surprised how many parents that have all went through the same thing, and when you talk to them you go, because when this happens to you, you always think, why me? Why has it happened to me? But when you start talking to parents and you go, really? This is the amount of people that's actually had stillborn. It's so high that nobody realises it's high up there. So basically you can go on that and talk to each other. We also have a group in Tesco's in Coatbridge. It's in the community rooms up the stairs, so if you go straight to the top of the Tesco's where the old cafe used to be, you go up there, there's a set of stairs, or there's a lift. Obviously if people are disabled and they can't walk up, then there's a lift for people to go. That's every Saturday just now, and that's 2 o'clock to 4. So if you share this and tell people where we are, then that's great. Just come along, have a wee chat, have a cup of tea. Basically my husband will be doing a video as well shortly, because we're trying to get more men to talk, because there's a lot of suicidal with men, and I think we forget about the men because women always concentrate on themselves, what's happened, and we don't really look at our men. So basically my husband will be doing a video for all yous to look at and share with your husbands. And basically so that we get more people to talk, because talking is the best thing that you can do. Asking people, oh right, your baby, what age was your baby, stuff like that, names, anything, it doesn't matter, still talk about the baby. The child was here, do you know what I mean, to us, and when people don't talk about it, it makes you more angry. I just want to thank for watching this video, and if you can share, and if there's any comments, just write them below and I'll answer them. Thanks very much. Bye.